One president that rarely crops up in conversation in Europe is a guy called Andrew Jackson. But Andrew Jackson is someone that Trump, even in his first term,
Yes.
admired greatly. And I'm assuming that his
Mhm.
portrait is hanging up in the newly readorned and golden leafed old Oval Office. Tell us about Andrew Jackson, why he might be so important to Donald Trump.
Right. Well, Andrew Jackson is a symbol of a powerful leader. He has been identified as a sort of symbol of the common man, so to speak, of democratization in American life and politics. But it's also important to recognize that, the 1830s in particular was a time of mass expulsions that he was in part responsible for. Most vividly and horrifically was the expulsion of thousands of native people from their homelands east of the Mississippi to a vague place called Indian Territory out in the Trans-Mississippi West. But it was a time when Catholics and Black people and Mormons, and Masons were being expelled from various areas of American life. So it's a way of recognizing, as Abraham Lincoln at the time and even Tocqueville in Democracy America recognized, that, American democracy and illiberal expulsions are interconnected. They're not separate or parallel tracks. And so that to that extent, you could make, I think, a very strong argument that what emerges in the 1820s and 1830s in the Jacksonian period is what you could call really an illiberal democracy.
And of course, Andrew Jackson famously had a fight with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, I believe it
He
ruled
did.
against him, and he more or less said, bring it on. What are you going to do about it?
That's right. One of the decisions in particular was not to Jackson's liking, and he said, okay, let him enforce it. And in a sense, the resonance today is a reminder that, the rule of law in the United States depends on respecting the findings of courts of law.